everyone, time to talk about the 2010 Best Oscar nominees and winner for 2010. Yeah, remember that year? The nominees were Toy Story 3, How to Train Your Dragon, The Illusionist. That's it, there were only 3. So, I'm gonna have to say I don't really agree with this, because the winner was Toy Story 3. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Toy Story 3 is a good film. But of all the films that should be nominated for Best Picture, I don't know why this one. I just tend to think that, I don't know, I think past the first Toy Story films, I kind of shut off. This is one of those series that I don't really think got better with its sequels. I really think How to Train Your Dragon should have won. I think this film is magnificent. I think its flying scenes are just beautiful. I think the story of Hiccup and him trying to fit in and his friendship with Toothless is wonderful. I can see why they're trying to make this like a live-action film, even though I don't really see why they're trying to make it a live-action film. The answer is clearly money, and it looks like DreamWorks is trying to steal some of that live-action animation remakes money that Disney is kind of making on the side. So yeah, I still think it should have won. That's my opinion. As for The Illusionist, I've never heard of this until this episode. I'm told it was made by the same director as Triplets of Belleville, a film I haven't seen, so whoops, guess we haven't seen both of those. Hey, any Megamind fans out there? Yeah, I heard the sequel is absolute dog crap, but personally, I think the original deserves to be nominated. I mean, if you're only going to do 3 this year, just throw that one in, even if it doesn't win. And also, Despicable Me came out this year. Really? You're not going to nominate that? Oh my gosh, I wouldn't say that was probably worth a win, but I think it's good enough for a nomination, don't you? I mean, you nominated its sequel for crying out loud. Seriously. Number 2 got, Despicable Me 2 got nominated for an Oscar Best Film, Best Animated Film, but this one didn't? It feels kind of weird. So, I don't know, maybe it's like they didn't want to, I don't know. It kind of feels like the Oscars sometimes do pick because, I mean, you know how an animated film is. You've seen animated films that are targeted for younger audiences, and it's very clear Despicable Me was that. But it's also, strangely enough, that Tangled didn't make the cut. Tangled? Really? Tangled's a great film. Why didn't you even... Seriously, I mean, you would think... I mean, there's usually a Disney movie somewhere in this year. I guess they thought, well, Toy Story 3 is Pixar, right? So I guess they went with it. But Tangled is its own thing, and I think it deserved nominees. Come on. Who knows? Maybe it won for Best Song or something like that. It had songs in it, right? I don't know. Then there was the last... Well, not the last, because we know there's another one of these. Shrek. Shrek Forever After. Yeah. Didn't get a nomination. Personally, I think this is one of the better Shrek films. I actually think it's the second best Shrek film, really. Really brought the series to a close, even though the plot line, which is essentially It's a Wonderful Life, had been done to death even by this point in time. Well, 30 years ago it had been done to death, really. So, but I still thought it was pretty good. So, then there's another film that didn't get a nomination, Legend of Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Not to be confused with Rise of the Guardians. I'm told this film does have a certain fan base to it. Wasn't Zack Snyder involved in this film somehow? Somebody big was involved in this film. Anyway, so I don't really remember it. I think I saw it, but I'm going to just sort of put like... Yeah, I'm going to put haven't seen on this because I barely remember anything about this film. I know for sure I sat down and saw this film, but I know I haven't really watched it again since then. And since this is 2010, that happened like, what, 15 years ago? Yeesh. Anyway. Alright, so join us next time where we get into 2009, and we're going to discuss the best films of that year. For now, this is Mark Rollins from the Geek Church, signing off.